my name is Andreas Diaz. Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Oh my god, I don't know my name anymore. John and I are back again for another spectacular Andreas Pop Culture Talk, and of course, finally, we're doing Being. Hello, John. How you doing?
Hello, Andres. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I was doing another podcast briefly with someone else. They invited me to do uh, another broadcast with them, so that was cool. And
Very
then
nice. Very nice.
yeah. And this week I did full Being bench. I saw 2 episodes of the show and the movie. So yeah. So Bean is, of course, this is the movie, the 1997 movie about Mr. Bean. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you don't know this character, he's this ridiculous, recluse, or how you say it? Uh, what's the word to describe this character? Maybe eccentric.
Eccentric. Yeah, he's an
Yeah,
oddball. He's an oddball.
oddball. Yeah, who is just chaos for everyone. And wait, are you a fan of the series? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, I love Mr. Bean. I think it's hilarious. It's this movie is my go-to comfort movie.
That's cool.
Comfort, or just for fun, or whatever. If it's just an average Tuesday night, maybe I'm watching Bean. You never know.
I agree. I can agree because I love how the police handle Bean and Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, despite my love of UK content and British things, I mean, Bean was like very low in my list. I, I mean, I know the actor. He's funny. I mean, whenever I see him, what's his name? Ronnie something.
Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson. I mean, he's a credible comedic actor. He's funny. Like he's so funny in the Rat Race movie. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
He's so funny in that one. It's so hilarious. And of course, before we recorded Love Actually, he has like a brief cameo there, and he's funny there. Very eccentric, flowerless person or whatever. Giving the truly to the late great Alan Rickman. But yeah, I gotta say, I seen the first movie briefly. I seen bits of it. Like I know the ending. Like I remember most about the ending, but I never see it from the beginning to the end. So when this homework I had to do, seeing the movie, I was like, oh, this is cool. And yeah, I love this movie. It's so funny. I just love the British humor. It just cracks me up.
It's basically just the whole movie is a build up to that ending.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. His whole plot to fix the pain is so hilarious. It's just so funny. Oh my god. It's one of the best. Oh yes, I remember that. I was like, oh my god, when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, I think John has it, right? And he does. Oh my god.
I have the painting.
Oh my god, that's so. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, so good you have that. Because when I saw it towards the ending, I was like, oh, I remember this was so funny. He had the actual penny, and how hack the pardon my French. What the hell does the security of the airplane people didn't check his luggage? That was like a painting.
Oh yeah. It must have been rolled. Well, I always remember this is pre 9/11. So
that's true. Yeah.
A little less strict.
I don't know. I felt like this was like a 2000 movie for some reason. I don't know why.
The other movie's a 2000 movie.
Yeah. And so. Yeah, because the reason I'm saying that is it's funny because like he gets in trouble with the airplane airport securities, because they were thinking he had a gun, which was funny. So yeah, but yeah, so I guess what do you think about this movie? Do you think this movie did a good job of capturing the TV show? Like because this is like the example of the '90s where we were getting so much of the TV. Like sitcoms or TV series being adapted into films, like Addams Family, the Flintstones, the Play Bunch, and I mean, Being is like a new this is like a new thing. Like it premiered '89, and and ended in the 90s, in 1995. I was checking
Mhm.
in my notes. So, I were you surprised he got a movie? Uh,
Um, I don't know. I wasn't around then. But I guess a little bit. If you just watch the show, it feels very self-contained. There's not a lot going on. But so this movie is kind of it's nice because it exists outside of this need for a narrative plot. All it is this odd dude navigating the world. Like
yeah,
that's the hilarity of the movie. It's just a weird guy. It's very simple in its humor.
and
That's kind of
yeah,
pleasant.
yeah, yeah, and being mistakenly was it he was mistakenly be this art expert for the
Mhm.
Americans. The fact that his job just put him there for 2 months.
Well, and because they didn't like him, rather than because they weren't able to fire him, let's just send him to the States and they'll think that he's a doctor. And
Yeah,
so they start when the lead support he asks him, what is it that you do at the museum? What's your job at the museum? I sit and look at the paintings. And the guy's like floored by it and everything. Oh my god,
yeah.
wow.
Oh my
So
god.
you know,
Oh my god. And my favorite line when he say like, "Is Leo was it Leo da Vinci the what was it
a basketball
famous
player.
basketball player?"
Yep. Yes.
Yes, and oh my god, his heart was completely broken at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. This was self-contained. I mean, I don't know if the British characters we saw in the beginning are characters from the show, but um, quick shout.
Yeah.
No, like right.
It's
But
completely detached from the show.
okay, because I don't know what job he does in the show. It seems like he's very. I
He
mean,
doesn't.
he doesn't have a job.
No. No. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, okay, that's funny because in the second episode I did seen the first two. In
Mm-hmm.
the second episode, he was like doing grocery shopping and whatnot, and like he has a credit card
Yes.
showing up,
Yes.
and it's like,
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, okay, he's doing okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen the episode, but it was funny how he was trying to give a nickel for the player outside the
Oh yeah,
food.
yeah, yeah.
He does the same,
Starts exchanging all the change
yeah,
when they get the right. Right.
the
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so comedy gold. And then, oh my god, towards the end when he goes to the bathroom with the guy, it was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my god, can't believe it. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and this opening for the movie was so funny. Like him with the net, like the I love the running gag of him sneezing, and like he has this very awful habit of just being awkward with his tissues and stuff like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
the end where the napkin was stuck in his nose, which is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
That one, oh my god, I just knew we're in the right place for that one. Yeah, and it's like bleeding, it's like blowing air.
What was your favorite skit from the movie?
Oh my god, I I
I
guess.
one of my favorites was
Uh-huh.
when he pulls the gun, when he pretends he has a gun with the airport security. Like
Yeah,
you're watching him, he sees the cops, and he has this look on his face. You're like, oh my god, what is he about to do? And then the fact that he's kind of like pretending that he has a gun, slowly
gun
drawing it out, you know, and then they start freaking out, chase him down. Everyone on the
the
ground,
ground.
honey. Oh, right. Stands up, put the gun on the ground. And he just
Yeah,
slowly lowers his hand. Oh my god! And they look at him like, "What the hell is wrong with this dude?"
yeah, I know. So yeah, my favorite skit was the one he reprograms the roller coaster simulation.
Brace yourself.
Brace yourself, and like everyone was just fleeing off their seats. It's
That's
so
great.
funny.
It is
Oh
great.
my god, it was just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh,
okay, okay. Oh my god, internet connection. Oh,
mm-hmm.
typical. Yeah, so the roller coaster thing was funny. Uh, I just love how people were just falling out of the
Mm-hmm.
ground, and then I just love that we went back to the police station again, and then oh my god, the cops were just asking, oh god, what they were saying to the art gallery director. Um, this man is completely strange, and then he does these gags because he doesn't know the window is like visibly conceived by other people because he
Oh
was
yeah,
doing
yeah,
these.
yeah.
Oh my god! And then he's and then
Hmm.
he scares the art gallery when he just pops up from the corner.
Hmm.
Yeah, that skit was my favorite, and then obviously the ending was my favorite when he's trying to like fix the pain, and
Oh
like
yeah,
like what is he? He poisons the guard to go to the bathroom,
yeah. He gives him
and
a bunch of laxatives, so that the guy has to go basically shit his life
yeah.
out. You know.
Oh my god, I feel so sorry for him. And then I just never because with the rewatch I didn't realize he took the advertise or like the prop paper of the painting from
Hmm.
the custodian, and then that's what he did, and then the real one he just took it for himself, which is
Yep.
funny.
Exactly.
Exactly, it's very funny. Yeah, those are my two favorite skits from that movie. Um, uh,
That was great.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, and one thing I like, compared to the show, like I like that he's interacting with characters.
Oh yeah, a
Like,
little bit of talking here and there.
yeah, here and there. Like it was weird. Like in when I was watching the first two episodes and then the movie is like he does talk because I thought initially he was just like a silent character. He was
Hmm.
like one of those Looney Tunes kind of characters that doesn't talk like Tom and Jerry. Like they
Hmm.
don't talk, and I thought he was more like that, but I didn't know he can
Well,
talk.
depends on the thing because in the second movie he doesn't talk at all.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
That's weird. That's where I think I thought he never talked because of the sequel. I think that's weird.
Yeah,
Um,
it just
but
depends who's directing it and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, I gotta say, the actor that Peter MacNicol, the American art director, David,
Hmm.
I think he's a great character. I think he feels like he's very sympathetic character, dealing with so much of the craziness acts that Mr. Bean does, and then like what's going on with his family, which
Hmm.
is funny. Like his whole family is falling apart.
And
Like
Bean's not helping.
yeah, exactly, not helping. And then like and of course this typical like ending of like trying to you know tighten up all the loose ends. Like oh now the family are back again healthily than ever, and like more happy than they
Hmm.
were before in the beginning. And then of course the cop being saved by Mr. Bean. Uh,
Oh yes, yes, the Eminem scene.
oh my god, I can't believe he did that. He just put the M&M in that water thing and then just eat it. Like he didn't know that was contaminated.
Hmm.
Like
He's a wild guy. It's just like thing after thing in that movie is just like it's hilarious. Oh my god.
yeah, I gotta say it's crazy. Oh my god, the plane, the airplane
Oh, the
scene.
kid on the yep.
Oh my god, when the kid threw up in the paper bag, I was like, okay. And then him took it to make the air balloon thing.
Hmm.
I was like, oh no, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad for the guy who was like sleeping.
Hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
no,
and
crazy.
apparently that was a reused gag from the show. So
Yes, it is. A lot of the different scenes were reused.
yeah, which point out which ones were reused. Like that one, I knew that was from the reused gag. Oh, what was the other ones? I was kind of curious.
If I recall correctly, the turkey thing was more of a reference. There's a scene where he ends up, Mr. Bean loses his watch in a turkey while he's stuffing it, and then somehow ends up on his head. Like
Oh my god,
he stuffs his head into it. So it's kind of a reference to that.
that.
I don't remember some of the other gags, but just in general.
Yeah, him getting bored and getting tired. It's like what he did with the show. Like in the first episode, he gets tired very
Hmm.
quickly. Him getting bored on the roller coaster is the other example. It's from Mr. Bean, Mind the Baby.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. That was
So
good.
that was that one was a very nice gag because that's my favorite. And then the other one was the mishap with the pain. That's another example from the episode The Library.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think they did a good job of reusing gags and those jokes in this
Yeah, and
movie.
in slightly different ways and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny when he's trying to get the turkey ready, and while
Mhm.
the characters distracting those two people from his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was funny. Oh my god, the funny part was when he was gonna take a shower, and we had the Yesterday from the Beatles
Yes.
song playing.
Sunday.
So they were singing it while they were drunk when they were heading back
Mm-hmm.
home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I can't believe they put the Beatles on in this movie. It's just I can't believe it. But yeah, I thought that scene was funny, and like him going to the bathroom trying to take a shower. Then while Bean is already in that shower, it's just like that was funny.
No shower me. Mm-hmm.
He showered me. It's like no, the I hope you didn't
Yeah.
understand that statement.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very funny. Oh my god, Mr. Bean. But yeah, I was very concerned when you try to adapt like a funny show into a movie. Sometimes the movie just lost its charm. And one of the things I like about this movie is that it didn't lose the charm of Mr. Bean. You know,
Yeah.
um,
It didn't. No.
that was one of the things I was kind of shocked watching this movie full on, because like a lot of sitcom shows when they get to movies like kind of lose some of its charms, or some loses its charm, or it does successfully be a good movie
Yeah.
because of the creators, like the Simpsons movie. I'm not a Simpsons fan, but like I heard that movie was great, and a lot of it.
That was a good movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
and because it had the heart and has the feel of this Simpsons show, and this feels like a Mr. Bean show. And I thought that I mean, because Richard Curtis,
Mhm.
who did Four Weddings and a Funeral and Nutty Hill, and of course he directed Love Actually and written it. He's of course part of this movie as well, and I think he did a good job of, or the writers that did the show did a good job here to making the movie accessible for audience.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of that, what do you thought about the family and the whole subplot about the art thing? Did you like it? You didn't like it? What's your opinion on that?
I think it was just background setting for more humor. Really.
More
You
human?
know, it's not nearly even the point of the movie. But
Mhm.
I thought that like it didn't take away anything from Bean's antics, or anything like
Yeah.
that, and kind of just added consequence to his humor, and also weirdly gave him sort of element of empathy for his friend, my
Yeah.
best friend.
My best friend.
And also added a bit of a reality check to Mr. Bean in the sense of like,
Yeah.
okay, these people find him to be insane,
Yeah.
so he is insane in this world that we're talking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice balance, so to speak.
Yeah, and he does care for Dave. Like he at least fixed the plane, not like in a way that was acceptable, but
And save the daughter.
yeah, yeah, he saved the daughter, which was crazy. Yeah, and I thought that like the speech he did about the pain, about like how he compared that to Dave's family and all that, that was cool. I mean, that was like a very heartful speech that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if your opinion is here, but I don't know. I haven't seen the sequel, but I have to say, if you want it more like just Mr. Bean, I think the sequel does a better job with that, maybe. Where here, you got Mr. Bean here, but you got the family aspect here. They got these other characters you don't care for, despite they do a good job of, giving them some depth. But I just don't think we need like a family here. Like I think you just need one person to take Mr. Bean, and I think he could have been a good foil for the
I
character.
mean, I guess the second movie is a little more close to the show in the sense that there's no speaking, there's none of those side characters. Like there's side characters, but they play even less of a role than they do in this movie. But I still think they're both rather true. I see what you're saying about the talking and the side characters playing a larger role, but I do find that this movie is wilder than
Then the
the second
sequel.
movie.
Okay.
Like the second movie, sketches very strange. Again, I think as I described to you in another conversation, someone referred to Bean in the second movie like a primordial nightmare because
Oh
he's
my.
truly almost kind of a chaotic demon upon the world.
Oh my
Um,
God. Yeah.
but in this movie, it's I guess because he's acting as a person, like as a human being, the
Yeah.
things that he's doing are absolutely insane. You know,
Mm.
it's a little wilder because rather than him on his own chasing a car with that has a chicken that has his bus ticket strapped to its foot, he's changing the parameter, the settings on a roller coaster, which is tossing people out of their seats. It's just a
Yeah.
little, almost more violent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. They go far to the slapstick comedy. It's like basically what the Looney Tunes cartoons were back then.
yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. That's strange. Yeah. I mean, this one it has a very like a very clear three-act structure and character arcs for characters. Not for Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is the static character of
Yeah.
all because he doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he helps out here and there, and then he's still the same character. It's just he has he helps the family to be more closer than each other than they were before.
Yeah.
So, which is good, and it's funny. At the sequels, because it's funny because I think I remember in the trailers when the sequel was coming out in 2006. Willem Dafoe was the filmmaker in the movie, right?
Oh
And
yes, yeah. No,
he,
that was another situation where it's in this one the culmination of the entire thing the movie's been building to is the stress of him fixing the painting. The culmination
yes,
of that movie is the satisfaction that comes. Well, I don't want to spoil it necessarily for
no,
you if you haven't seen it, but he's been
yeah.
carrying around that video camera the whole movie, filming things.
Hmm.
And so he plugs it in over this egotistical filmmaker's presentation at the Cannes Film Festival. And it all syncs up to the audio from the movie that the egotistical guy made. But
Uh-huh.
it's Mr. Bean doing these weird ass things. And it's just like it's all these scenes that you already saw earlier in the movie, but now they're
Oh
tied
my
in
God.
in a different way. And I think it's that's just
It's
hilarious.
Oh my God, that is so funny, and it's just ruining his chance to win the Oscars and get the accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, that's so funny. Oh my God, yeah, I just find it funny. Just Mr. Bean versus Green Goblin. That's maybe the one image I will watch. But yeah, it's interesting because the movie's wrapping up with the pain because it's from the beginning to the end, and it's a very cool through line, which is good. One thing I like about this movie, it's not mean spirited, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Because sometimes I think when we got these adaptations, they go too far. I remember the Flintstones, it's very it's about shady business deals,
Right.
it's yeah. I don't know. You've seen the Flintstones movie with John Goodman, but oh really? Oh my God, you need to see that. It's so John Goodman is Fred Flintstone. He's the best
Mm-hmm.
casting there. You've seen the Addams Family movies, right? The
Yeah, yeah.
first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be concerned. I was like, we're gonna watch that Halloween, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
um, that has that kind of sexual overtone, especially with Halle Berry, and in the Brady Bunch movies. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're in the modern day setting while they're in still their 60s setting, which is
Interesting.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny, and then they're so what's the word, aloof, what's going on and what the people are saying to them, the comments they
Uh-huh.
say about them.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate this movie. Does It's not very mean spirited to our character, Mr. Bean.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that because it's could have make the movie very boring. Not boring, but like very unenjoyable to watch.
less enjoyable. Yeah,
So I did
yeah.
appreciate
It's
that.
very much not mean spirited. It's all about friendship. Same with the second
Exactly.
movie. It's all about friendship.
Oh, that's cool. That's great. Because I was gonna be concerned about that. Because when they do the sequel, it's just like, oh yeah, money grabbing.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I was very shocked they made a sequel. I'm surprised they didn't do 3 movies.
Oh, that's not the. It would be kind of. Mr. Bean isn't a franchise like that.
Yeah,
I
but I
think
mean,
Rowan Atkinson has said as much that he doesn't want to do Mr. Bean again,
yeah, that I heard. Yeah.
and no one else could do that. No one else could do that.
No, no,
Absolutely.
no. He's Mr. Bean. I mean, despite this was after the show done, he still got it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he still looks like Mr. Bean. I mean,
I wonder
despite
why.
his yeah. What were you say?
I wonder why.
I mean, taking care of his body, which is good. Yeah, taking care of his hairlines and all that. But yeah, I mean, he's still Mr. Bean. I mean, and I'm still surprised he still fits with the suit and all that. So yeah, so but yeah, so I mean, we've been talking positively. I mean, I brought up the family, but was there any negatives about the film
No
that
complaint.
stick out to you? Oh wow, okay, okay.
I have no complaint.
Yeah, no complaints. Unlike Caddyshack.
Oh, I have many complaints about Caddyshack. This one, I have nothing. It's a perfect movie.
Perfect movie.
How do you
So
feel?
I mean, is it top tier comedy? I'm not a fan of this character, but I mean, he's up there. I'll definitely put it in my top 10.
Mhm.
I think it's definitely deserving. Um, I guess if I see the sequel, I can maybe judge it more better. If
Mhm.
the sequel is better than the first, or like is consistently like treats the character as the same, then I'm happy to put it in the top 5 comedy movies of all time.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's the big thing. Uh,
I think it's great.
yeah. Oh my god.
I have zero negatives.
Wow, I can't believe that. I mean, like, well, what about the arts people? They were jerks. Like what they
Yeah,
did with Mr. Bean.
but they're supposed to be jerks.
That's
The
true.
movie portrays them as jerks.
That's true. I mean, the police was jerks, and the
They're also supposed to be portrayed as jerks.
that's true. I mean, the
You know,
wife.
the movie's aware of them being jerks. I mean, the wife is also understandable. The
Yeah,
husband
yeah,
invites a stranger into this home, and without really her permission, and he's a bit of an odd guy, and she doesn't want him there.
yeah.
I mean,
That was
it's understandable.
yeah. I was kind of wondering about that. Like, does she like she knew that there was gonna be someone being in their house? Like, she should have this conversation. But with Dave, with the character Dave, like, it didn't seem like he didn't talk right away with that.
I get the sense it was a bit thrust upon her.
Yeah, I felt like it. Especially with the him coming back with Bean was like very funny.
Oh
And
yeah,
then and then it's like, oh, we're leaving. We're going to the mom's house, which is funny.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, one thing I want to give a shout out is Mr. Pierre Capaldi, the 12th Doctor. He's there in the board's room, which is funny. He's just in that one scene, and like, he's the one that wore the glasses. He's in the like, was it the right corner with the guy, in the main seat.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool to see him. I wish he was more in this movie. Like, come on, he's so funny. He's such a funny actor. But well, that's just my just that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of sad. But
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so anything else to say about Mr. Bean before we leave?
It's great. It's great. That's all.
Yeah.
I think everyone should watch it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. This is
Good movie.
yeah. You're lucky. You're lucky. I saw this movie. So anyway, thank you everyone for listening to this podcast. Me and John will be back again for a more in-depth discussion of a movie. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll talk about religion. Maybe or
That'd be
or
interesting.
yeah, or police authority. Maybe.
In another interesting topic.
Yeah, let's do with that. But anyway, thank you, John. I was very happy to discuss being here. It's, I mean, I seen this movie. It's funny, and I was so happy to
Mhm.
see the film fully. I think it was one of the best comedies I've seen in a while.
Good,
So
excellent. I'm
yeah,
glad you enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah, and I highly recommend watching the show. I saw the first two episodes. They're funny. Yeah, if you were nervous to see the movie, go first watch the show and then go like into the movies. So.
Hmm.
So I think that'd be best to do that if you guys like it. So all right. Have a good uh, week, everyone. What's today? Sunday? Yeah, Sunday.
Today's
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Have a good one. Good night, New
Yep.
York.
Bye bye. You too.